Making of Nathuram Godse and His Idea of India by journalist Dhirendra K Jha, who joins us for an interview today. Thank you for being here with us, Dhirendra.
Thanks, Ayush, for inviting me to News Laundry.
Dhirendra is a Delhi-based journalist, and he's been in the profession for, I think, 27 years. He's been with publications like the Telegraph, Pioneer, Mail Today, Scroll, and he's currently a contributing writer for Caravan. In fact, if you see the January issue of the Caravan, the cover story in Yogi Adityanath has his byline. Tell us about early Nathuram Godse before he became this fanatic who fought for that, what a cause he described as the Hindu. What was he like?
In the beginning, the moment he gets his first guide, that is Savarkar, he gets into his fold. Thereafter, Kasinath Bhaskar Lime comes in his life, who takes him in RSS. Then his relationship with Apte was not like relationship between two friends. It was like he was taking kind of orders from Apte in many cases, which he recognizes in his statement that he gave to interrogators.
And especially there's a portion in your book where you describe how that awkwardness with women often played out. For instance, once he had a migraine attack and you say he was rushed to a hospital in Pune. Apte rushed him, his associate from the RSS. And when he woke up the next morning, he realized he was in a ward with nurses. And of course, these are female nurses. And he had to take the hospital gown and walk out of that because you say he couldn't handle in a way the company of women. That was
he actually ran out.
Yeah.
He actually ran out.
He ran. Right.
Disassociating RSS from Godse is a complete fabrication of history. And that these people have succeeded in doing. If you look at the entire trajectory, and this myth started with two initial papers.
There's a letter you cite from Rajendra Prasad to Vallabhbhai Patel. This is after Mahatma Gandhi's assassination in December 1948, where he says that they operate as a secret organization, almost organized along fascist lines. And therefore, that would also create some sort of a hurdle for those who expect Godse's name to pop up in a register of the RSS, that those things did not happen, that RSS knew how to cover its tracks.
Precisely. Even Hedgewar's name would not, you won't find Hedgewar's name in RSS register or Golwalker's name in RSS register simply because they don't have any register.
Right.
But then they have, from time to time, recorded some of the the minutes of their meeting, which were seized after Gandhi assassination by the police. But you won't find any register, nor will you find any any paper suggesting that Godse was expelled from the organization, at any point of time.
I have a creeping feeling that the acceptance of Godse, even though it seems to be restricted to some quarters, has much more mass appeal compared to, say, even 10, 20 years or even 70 years ago. So what do you make of this recent deification of Godse? And if you have any word on what led to it and how it can be, probably reduced. I mean, you're a journalist. These are heavy loaded questions, but if you have any on those.
Yeah, of course. This is indeed a heavy loaded question. And see, Godse's appeal, I would say, has increased. I would rather say that it remained suppressed. There was a section, those who were supporting RSS, they actually idolized Godse all these years. The change that has happened now is that,
with respect to Gandhi, Gandhi controlled the anti-colonial movement for several decades. But when Godse murders him, Gandhi is not really at the helm. He's not in a lot of control of what's going inside the Congress party. So what did you think was the threat at this position of, at this point in Gandhi's life, when he's not much in control, to Godse, to take of this task of killing him?
It is wrong to say that Gandhi was not at helm of affairs. Gandhi was very much, at the center of all the activities which were happening those days, even after independence. That is why you find Gandhi first, at the time of partition, he was in Kolkata, right? Trying to control popular anger there. And he managed with a fast. And then when he comes to Delhi on 9th September uh, 1947, he reaches Delhi.
So at this point in his life, when he finally seems to have young Swayam Sevaks coming to him and almost looking up to him, this is what he's sort of always wanted. What does Nathuram Godse believe in at this point in his life, and what is he trying to achieve as his political objective?
If you look at Godse's letter to Savarkar, which is undated, but it was definitely written just before August 1938. You will realize that this man, after remaining in RSS for 4 years, had started, thinking ahead of RSS, and he was like, he was thinking of kind of spearheading all the Hindu sangatans. That idea of RSS is there in that letter. And so it was that idea which kept growing. When Hindu Raj Dal was formed, Hindu Raj Dal was like a kind of joint venture of the two organizations, Hindu Mahasabha and RSS. And again, this is something that RSS would never recognize. RSS would never say that Hindu Raj Dal that it had anything to do with Hindu Raj Dal. And that it would always say that it was basically a Sauerkraut organization and a secret outfit of Hindu Mahasabha. But this statement of Godse, this Marathi statement of Godse, makes it clear that no, it was joint venture of Hindu Mahasabha and RSS. Again, while making this Hindu Raj Dal, he was in a way spearheading the two organizations, the original idea that was struck in his mind.
The subscription model is something that keeps News Laundry afloat, but we need hundreds of thousands of people to completely transform the news ecosystem. So you pay for news, so it serves you. So click on the link with this video, subscribe to News Laundry and pay to keep news free, और गर्व से कहो मेरे खर्च पर आज़ाद है खबरें.